Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. I'm Ben Shatliff. You're watching Ben Shatliff on Sunday. It has been a while since we're last on air, and a lot has happened. That would be an understatement. Today on Ben Shatliff on Sunday, as we return, I'll be reading part of a reading which I read this morning at Mass, which I think is symbolic of what is happening in our world at the moment. And we'll be looking at the news stories which are affecting us across the world today. Before that, most of us are still in shock after witnessing the attack on Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky by US President Donald Trump and US Vice President J.D. Vance at the White House on Friday. I think many people have been totally shocked, not just by that, but out of the whole way in which things have happened over the last almost 6 weeks. It's in 6 weeks tomorrow since Donald Trump was sworn in for the second time as President of the United States of America. People thought he was going to be bad, but he's been a lot worse than what people thought. And as I say, we're only almost 6 weeks into that presidency. On a complete personal basis and perspective, the three things which I was concerned about, which of course do still concern me, no matter who's president of America, but it still what concerns me is, of course, what will happen as far as Ukraine's concerned, what will happen in the Middle East, to have a safe and secure Middle East where nobody is attacking anybody, and of course the special relationship between the United States and Britain. Well, our Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer was over in America on Thursday and seemed to have good relations with Donald Trump, but he of course was putting Ukraine and European stability as well as the United Kingdom at the heart of everything. We also saw President Emmanuel Macron, visit Donald Trump on Monday, and you could see arguments where he was saying, right, we want this, and then we saw what happened on Friday with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. And very pleased to say that he has since been given a massive welcome by our Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer in London yesterday, and today at some stage we'll be meeting His Majesty King Charles II, and then there'll be this special meeting which is taking place, a security summit which is taking place in London this afternoon, hosted by our Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. As always, the thoughts are with Ukraine. We all want peace, stability and freedom for the people of Ukraine immediately, with every millimetre of land which has been taken by Russia to be back in Ukrainian hands, and a deal which is better for Ukraine, not for Vladimir Putin, and certainly not for the US President Donald Trump. I think on this particular issue, impartiality goes out of the window when some of the scenes that we have seen over the last few weeks. But what happened on Friday evening, as someone who's been a supporter of Ukraine for right from the word go of this full-scale invasion, and it was very upsetting to see what happened, and it's been on the mind of most people over the weekend and will continue to be. But as I said at the rally yesterday, Manchester Stands with Ukraine, tragically over the last 3 years there have been quite a few setbacks, but the unity of the extended family of everybody being together, then we get on and make sure that we do everything we can to try and help the people of Ukraine, in Ukraine itself, and right here in the United Kingdom and other parts of the world. So let's begin, before we start looking at the news updates, let's just begin today. I'm just going to read you a reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, when the perishable puts on the imperishable, and the mortal puts on immortality, then shall come to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is your victory? O death, where is your sting? The sting of death is sin, and the power of the sin is the law. But thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labour is not in vain. The word of the Lord. And let us all join together and pray for peace, stability and freedom for the people of Ukraine immediately, with no more aggression, the aggressors brought to justice, peace in the Middle East and all those other countries in the world where there is aggression, where there is terror and where there is conflict. We'll now take a look at those stories which are making the news on this Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. In the liturgical year, which is the last Sunday of ordinary time for the moment, as we get ready for Lent. And yes, a Lenten diet is on its way and plenty of walking. I will try and commit to Ben Shatliff on Sunday as well. I know that I've been relaxed recently due to a whole variety of various different things. Right, we'll go to the Sky News website first of all, and the Sky News app. And the UK are hoping that the three-part Ukraine peace plan can get back on track at the London summit as the Italian Prime Minister arrives. Keir Starmer will host the international summit in London today, as we've already said. Attendees include Vladimir Zelensky, Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni, who's just recently arrived, and French President Emmanuel Macron. Justin Trudeau, the Canadian President, is also going to be there as well. There's pictures which are being shown there now of Keir Starmer and the Italian Prime Minister Meloni. Let's see if I can see anything there about the pictures when he met up with Vladimir Zelensky yesterday. Of course, there's one here that was yesterday down the street with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. The UK, France and Ukraine will work on a ceasefire plan to present to the United States, the Prime Minister has said, in the wake of Vladimir Zelensky's White House clash with Donald Trump. Sir Keir Starmer, who visited Washington on Thursday, said he believes Mr. Trump does want a lasting peace between Russia and Ukraine. He also said Europe is in a moment of real fragility and he would not trust the word of Vladimir Putin. A number of young women have told Sky News of receiving shocking offers of accommodation in exchange for sex, with international students particularly affected. As the only English-speaking country in the EU, Ireland is a perennially popular destination for English language students, thought to currently number around 40,000. They arrive to a country beset by a years-long housing crisis and often respond to adverts on private Facebook groups. Israel says it is stopping all goods and supplies into Gaza. The Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office claims Hamas was refusing to accept the Wickoff outline for continuing the talks, which Israel agreed to. Under a plan put forward by US Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, the first phase of the ceasefire deal would continue through Ramadan and Passover, or until April 20th, which is also Easter Sunday. Israel said in a statement that Mr. Netanyahu's decided that starting this morning, all entry of goods and supplies into the Gaza Strip would cease. It added that Israel will not allow a ceasefire without the release of our hostages. If Hamas continues its refusal, there will be further consequences. Israel's foreign minister said the country's commitment to deliver goods was for the first phase, and that has lapsed. Why not strive for peace? Give the people of Gaza what they want. And see that way if Hamas will then allow to get those hostages free, which of course is a priority. Then there's also prisoners, there's also Palestinian prisoners as well. So work together and strive for peace. Don't cause any further escalation. And that way Ramadan, Passover and Easter can be celebrated peacefully in the Middle East and have a long-lasting peace. Not settlement. Peace. Perfect peace completely. Nobody is saying what Hamas did was right. Nobody is saying what Israel in some of their acts have done is right. But it's not doing anybody any good, the continuous fighting. And it's no good at all. So I hope I'm not offending or upsetting anybody by just saying that, but let's strive for peace, because it's not good all this what's going on. And we're entering a time now on Wednesday, which is Ash Wednesday, the time when a lot of people give something that people will give up, usually sweet stuff or a whole variety of that. People, it doesn't even have to be something where it's going to be giving up sweet stuff. It can be something else that somebody gives up, or somebody could decide they want to do something in addition for that. Now, at that same time, it's going to be Ramadan. Also, at the same time, it's going to be Passover as well. So why don't everybody work together during Lent, Ramadan and Passover to try and strive and bring peace in the Middle East as well? Because nobody wants to see any more atrocities committed on either side. It's just, it's not nice. I'm always striving to want peace for Ukraine as well, but people very often say, well, you never mention the Middle East. Well, I am mentioning the Middle East because it's absolutely awful. And I've seen over the years, because of my very big, massive interest in news and politics, and I've seen how people have strived over the years to try and bring peace into people, and then sadly no longer around. So we want peace, and let's all strive and work for that peace. Right, as I said, it is Ash Wednesday coming up on Wednesday. So, what are people going to be doing during Lent? It's my favourite liturgical time of the year, Lent, and it always helps with the fact that you can get some of that nice one. But I love Holy Week. I love the season of Lent where you do a whole variety of various different things. Now, during Lent last year, I failed on giving up everything I said I was going to do, but one thing I did keep to was doing the steps, and I always managed to do 1 million steps during Lent of 2024. This year, because Easter falls late, so it's on Sunday, April 20th, and I love it at Easter because it's lovely when we get that nice, beautiful sunshine. Because it's coming later this year, I'm hoping it will be nice glorious weather. It was last year, and it was also nice the year before as well, actually, if my memory serves me correct. So, and of course, we've got the lighter nights and everything else, and I'm hoping to try and do good as far as the steps are concerned. I do want to lose some weight and slim down. I need to. There's no ifs or buts about it whatsoever. I have been starting doing reading as well. I did say there were 2 books that I wanted to complete by the end of June of this year. So I'm already reading, but I need to do a lot more. So maybe I should create a 30-hour day so I can get more in. But and of course, and I go to 2 masses during the week. During the week. I go to church on a Sunday. Sometimes I do watch from home, and I always go to a church on a Saturday lunchtime as well. And it's also nice to try and watch match during the week. So even doing something more religious is also something that you can do as well. But let's all work together. We've already said, and we're going to reiterate, we want peace for Ukraine, we want peace in the Middle East. And as I've already said, there's other countries as well. But let's all work and strive together to bring peace. And instead of having situations where something can then turn to aggression, let's sort something out. So if someone's had a fallout with somebody or something like that, or something's not nice, sort out, friendly way, work together, stop something then escalates. And I know it's not as easy as what I have made that sound. Right, that is it for today on Ben Shatliff on Sunday. We'll be monitoring what happens next with the summit today, what happens next with all the various different corners of the world, and we will continue to be with you on Ben Shatliff on Sunday as well. In the meantime, please everybody take care, keep well, and most importantly, just think of others. For now, good afternoon.
My soul is filled with joy as I sing to God my Savior. You have looked upon your servant. You have visited your people, and holy is your name. Through all generations, everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen, and holy is your name. I am holy as a child, but I know from this day forward that my name will be remembered, for all will call me blessed, and holy is your name. Through all generations, everlasting is your mercy to the people you have chosen.